Good morning, children. Today we will be starting about the revision of your chapter number 1, and that will be nature and purpose of business. Student, nature of purpose of business, we have already read this chapter and discussed this chapter. Today we will be revising it in a quick manner. Whatever activity we did, we used to divide these activities. It means all human beings have different type of needs. So in order to fulfill these needs, they have to perform some or other activities. And whatever these activities we do, we used to divide these into two manner. These was economic activity and non-economic activities. Economic activities are all those activities which are related with money, or non-economic activities are all those activities which are not related with money and where the objective is not to earn money or not to earn income. For example, I can give you, if a teacher teach in class or in school, they get salary for that. So the teaching will be called as an economic activity. But if a mother cook food for you, or if a mother is cooking food for their child, it will be called as a non-economic activity because it's not related with money and the objective is not to earn income. Now, how we will be able to differentiate between economic and non-economic activities? We can just say the purpose behind economic activity, that is those activities whose objective is to earn money and to create wealth. Non-economic, those activities whose aim is not to earn money but to satisfy social, psychological and emotional need. For example, love, sympathy or patriotism. Now, example will be people working into a factories, cooking food in restaurant, a teacher teaching in school. All these will be example of economic activity because all of them main objective is to earn money. They are doing it for earning money. For example, of non-economic activity, a housewife cooking food for her family, a teacher training his daughter or her daughter will be called as non-economic because the objective is not to earn money. Now we will be talking about the concept of business. I will be not going very deeply in that because this is just a revision video. What is business? So business refers to those economic activity involving the purchase, production and sale of goods and services with a motive of earning profit by satisfying human needs in society. It means what is business? Business basically means it's related with economic activity. You have to understand that business has an economic activity. Why? Where purchases are there, we used to sell, we used to exchange things. For exchanging things, we used to produce certain goods and services, and the motive behind this exchange will be to earn profit and to satisfy human needs. Now because the objective is earning profit, that is the reason we call that business is a economic activity. Now the features of business. The features of business has economic activity. The business first feature or the very important feature is that it's an economic activity because it is undertaken with the objective of earning money. The second feature of business is that production or procurement of goods and services. Now all the activities which are done in business include production and procurement of goods and services, means production and exchanging of goods and services. Now production we can understand, we can do inside the organization, but how we are going to exchange goods and services? There are lots of other services which are included here, that is transporting. By the help of transportation only we are able to exchange goods from one place, the place where it's produced, to the place where it is demanded. The banking, for exchanging the goods we require finance, insurance for the purpose of safety of the goods. So these all are the features of business. Next is sell or exchange of goods and services. Now if an organization has produced something but they are not exchanging that goods and services which is produced by them, they are not exchanging that to the consumer, they are doing it for their own purpose, that will be not called as business, because business has a feature that after production there should be selling or exchanging of goods and services. Next is dealing in goods services at a regular basis. Now this is the another feature of business, that it should be dealing of goods and services or exchanging of goods and services into a regular basis. If suppose I have certain things and today I sell it to somebody else. But this is not in a routine basis. I cannot say that I'm a business person, because the regularity of dealing of exchanging of goods and services are not there. If a transactions of selling and purchasing occur only once and twice, it will be not called as a business. So business is that organization which deal into goods and services into a regular basis. Profit earning, the main feature of business, that whenever there is any business started by organization owner, the main motive of the business is to earn profit. A business cannot survive without making profit. Uncertainty of return, the another feature of business, that whenever any organization start out, they invest money. Now, investing money, the main objective is to earn profit, but it's not sure, it's not certain that the amount will be returned back to them or they will be able to get profit. In business, because it works into a dynamic way, there might be a chances of profit also, and there might be a chances of losses also. Next is element of risk. Now, these features of business say that all business activities carry some element of risk, because we are doing business with a goal which we are going to get in future, and future is uncertain. There are certain factors which are not in control of the organization. So these are just create a chance of risk also, which a owner has to face. So this was all about business and its feature. Now, when we talk about economic activity of a business, we divide that into three parts, and that is business, profession, and employment. Now let's see, as we have already discussed what is business, so we will be discussing about what is profession. So student, profession means all those activity which require special knowledge and skill in the occupation. It means all those activities which way we require a special knowledge to go through with that occupation. Like we can have an example of teaching. Teaching, a teacher required to have a degree of B.Ed. So this is what? This is a skill which require to go into occupation of teacher. That's why we say that teaching is a profession. Now employment. Employment basically refers to the occupation in which we work for others and get remuneration in return. Employment basically means what is happening, the two peoples are involved here. The first is employer who give job, and the second is employee who take job under somebody. Now the employer need to give some work to the employee, and after doing that work the employee will be getting a particular amount which can be said as a form of remunerations. So this was all about the three economic activity, that is business, profession, and employment. Now, the how we will be able to differentiate between business, profession, and employment on the basis of their mode of establishment, means how we can set up business, how we can set up profession, and how we can able to start up employment. Now, for starting a business, it can start after completing some legal formalities if needed. It means whenever a business owner has to start any business, there are certain form of business which require certain legal formalities. So once these legal formalities are done, the business can be started. Even there are certain business which can go or which can be opened without any legal formalities. Next is profession. Profession basically a membership of profession body and certificate of practice is required. It means whenever any profession has to be started, it required a certificate of body. Like for CA, you require as chartered accountant officers. Same thing for medicals and same thing for others thing also. For employment, we basically required it as a appointment letter to start it. Now, next is nature of work. What type of nature a business has? Business has a nature of provision of goods and services to the public. It means business has a nature where they exchange the goods and services to the public. Profession is basically a personalized service of expert natures where we are getting a expert advice from the expert of that particular field. And employment basically means work allotted by the employer according to the contract. It means whatever is mentioned into the contract or appointment contract, according to that only the employer will be allotting work to employee. Next basis is qualification. So no minimum qualification is necessary in business. Business can be started by anyone without any minimum qualification. The profession qualification are required, trained people are required with a skillful qualification, and qualification and training are according to the employer need. Next is about the capital investment. Now, capital needed according to the size and capacity. If a business are large in size, they will require more capital. If a business is small in size, they will require less capital. Now, limited capital for established. The professions required a limited capital for the establishment. Now, no capital is required for the employment. Now, reward and return. The business has a reward of profit. The profession has a reward of professional fees, and the employment has a reward of salary or wages which is given to employee. Risk. More risk is there in case of business because it completely work into a dynamic way. Less risk is there, and there is no risk in case of employment. Code of conduct. There was no code of conduct. According to the organization owner, it can make its own code of conduct for its business. The professional code of conducts are there for the profession, and the term and condition of services contract are to be allowed. It means whatever conditions, whatever term policy which are written into the service contract, that is supposed to be followed by employer and employee both the side. So this was all about the business, profession and employment differentiate. Next video we will be talking about the objective of business.